Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Real-Time Fun Machine podcast series featuring Ron Huff and Robert Quinn. We hope you find our technical discussions interesting, but also uplifting. Now sit back, relax, and let your mind breathe in some thoughtful escape.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have got to tell on Robert, my co-host here, Robert Quinn. So we had just recorded about 15 minutes of material gold, and he realized that for some reason, when he started the recording, it muted himself. Okay?
Yep.
So we just spent the last 10 minutes getting everything back online. Now, Robert, are you now confirmed that it's recording your voice? Yes?
I am recording this
All
time,
right.
and I am recording the
All right.
audio, but I didn't
All right.
read the manual.
That's right. Read the full manual. Otherwise, a real-time fun machine occurs.
Read the effing manual, man.
I'll tell you what. It was actually
Jeez.
kind of perfect. Like, we even talked about it a bunch of times. Like, all the times we've been planning and preparing to do this, we always talk. And there's going to be a time where one of us forgets to click record.
Oh, man.
And, or something will happen, and this was that time.
Yeah,
So it's
this was
perfect.
it. This was it. I don't know how it happened, but it did.
Yeah. Nah, that's funny. That's funny.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, all right. So what have you been up to, man? It's been a while. What have you been up to? Tell me about
I
it.
have been doing everything. I've been. I just recently got back from Munich. Went to Semicon Europa. That was really
Nice.
cool. Got to attend the CEO roundtable. Listen, meet up with some really cool people. Met up with Greg from Wolfspeed and a bunch of other CEOs that were attending.
Okay. All right. Hold on.
It was
Hold
fun.
on. All right, Robert. We know you're the man. It's okay. All right. You're like super famous. Get to do international travel and shit. Everyone knows you're awesome. Okay. But no, what have you been up to, like, inside your head? We've been talking about artificial intelligence and stuff. Like, what's going on up there, man?
Artificial intelligence has just like immersed my world. Like, everybody's been watching we've watched the birth of artificial intelligence really explode over the last 3 months. I just recently, today, I just received a new wafer. It's a single chip.
Do you have it with you right now?
Yep, I have it with me right now. I'm holding it up.
All right, show it.
I'm going to show it to you. It's a single chip. This unit is made by Cerebus. It is made for the new AI supercomputers. And it is made on a 300 millimeter wafer. It is a single chip, and it contains 2.6 trillion transistors on this thing. It is incredible.
Wow.
Now, I'm going to back up a little bit and talk
Okay.
about like the history of where we've gone, and just since 2019, right? Since 2019, in 2019, this same unit contained 400,000. It contained 400,000 cores and 2.6 billion transistors.
Wow.
Today,
Oh my God.
this unit contains 2.6 trillion transistors and 850,000 cores.
That's ridiculous.
That is the speed of this growth that we're seeing.
Wow.
Right, and we're not even using the artificial. We're using, of course, you have to use artificial intelligence to be able to do that. But to the amount of artificial intelligence that will be used in the future will exponentially make this growth even so much faster. Right.
Yeah.
This unit has 500 miles of microscopic wires on it. I mean,
Wow, that's crazy.
It's just absolutely incredible. But Cerebus sent this to me, so because as you know, like, you and I did this class for all these high schoolers, where we were talking to high schoolers about the semiconductor industry and educating them about the semiconductor industry at University of Texas.
That's right.
They sent me this unit so I can use this and talk to the high school students about what we're doing in the semiconductor industry and how wild the advent of this technology and where it's going, and where it's at today. And so I'm super excited about that. But I mean, gosh, we've seen the industry just absolutely explode lately, with Chat GPT. Obviously, pretty sure you're using it. I'm using it. We're, ChatGPT and artificial intelligence. I'm actually making posts that are 100% done by artificial intelligence, and using ChatGPT to be able to create scripts and using.
Okay, hold on. When I hear you say that, what I hear is you're using artificial intelligence to do what normally you do for work. Is that what I'm hearing you say,
well,
Mr. Robert Quinn? Be honest.
It's a cheap method. It's a cheap method, but
is it cheap or is it better? I don't know.
It could be better, right? But I'm using it in a sense that I can take, versus having to just take the content of the curating the content that I'm finding online. So I'm still reading the content, I'm still reading the articles and trying to find the latest information that's out there. But I'm able to utilize ChatGPT to kind of give me a synopsis of what this article is all about, and then being able to put that into a quick system where I'm having an avatar created of myself, and then this avatar will be able to speak the what I'm writing into it. And then of course I go into it, and I've read the article, so I'm editing and changing it up a little bit. But it's going to be when you're posting 4 times a day, 24 hours a day, it's kind of hard to do when you want to sleep, So it will definitely help me a lot.
Okay, hold on. I got to call you out on this. All right. So you said you're posting 4 times a day, 24 hours a day. So that means that you do 6 posts per day. Is that right?
No, I'm doing 4 posts per day.
I'm sorry, 1 post every 4 hours.
Yeah. On average.
Okay. So now this is perfect. So you've been able to, using AI and ChatGPT, you've been able to, what normally takes you 6 hours, is now you can do it in how much time, Mr. Robert Quinn?
Probably a lot less than almost half, right?
Oh my God, you did not say 3 hours. It does not take you 3 hours to do 1 post. Let me tell you.
No, not 1 post.
How long does it take? How long does it now with artificial intelligence? How long does it take per post? Honestly.
Well, I've complicated it now, because I've added the synthesa where I'm actually having the avatar speaking the news, and so it's like a broadcast newscast. And so versus just written,
you're making it better. You're making it better. Because if you you do that, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be it is going to be a lot better.
Yeah, and so I can generate a post in a half hour. No.
Okay. All right. Ooh, good data. Okay, so this is good information. So you've been able to consolidate using artificial intelligence. You've been able to consolidate your job from an actual time standpoint, but at the same time, you've also made it better. Is that my understanding?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay. Hey,
definitely.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a perfect example of how artificial intelligence is making our lives better and Robert Quinn's life better at the same time.
Yep. Get to spend more time with my kids.
Exactly. Spend more time with your kids. Do the important things of taking care of your family. Doing awesome things like the SIMU. Like I was there. When you were able to take all those kids around, and they actually got to see real semiconductor manufacturing equipment. I'm not kidding. I was there. I got to. I was possibly the very first person ever to be able to record semiconductor manufacturing equipment in the field. Okay.
Yeah,
and so we looked at a scanning electron microscope. We looked at a plasma injection device. These things that make these semiconductors are just amazing from a technological standpoint. And so the reason you're able to coordinate and bring the community together is because of the additional time that you have, but also being able to provide a better service that brings you a salary to make it all happen inside your family. So, dude, congratulations, Robert. Seriously, good job.
AI is going to be able to allow us to do a lot more things. And I'm trying to grow SIMU, and it is just a matter of of where's the hours to be able to do it, right? Because I've only got these 24 hours in a day, and I've got to fit a few things in, like sleep and family and eating and working and everything else. So it'll definitely allow a lot more ability to do things like that,
and you work from home, right? And you work
Yeah.
from home, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure
All right.
do,
So
when I'm not traveling.
I mean, God, Robert, you are the perfect example of what work for humanity is and can be for everyone.
Definitely.
Through the help of technology and AI. Imagine every single human being on Earth having a job and a quality of life, and having tools like artificial intelligence to be able to help you do those jobs. Now, for a lot of the labor-intensive jobs, we're going to need robots, physical activity. However, those robots are going to need smart people that know how to do plumbing, that know how to lay bricks. And those people are going to be the people that currently do that activity, except they can do it also from working from home.
Yeah.
And that's the power of the semiconductor industry. And that's the power of that giant chip that you just showed us, the giant in terms of capabilities.
It's huge.
That's the importance of what AI is going to do for humanity. And as long as we understand that there are scary things about it that we don't yet fully understand, AI is built upon humans, and overall humanity is good because we're still in a positive upward trajectory. And so there's not a lot to worry about. There's a lot to look forward to. So, dude, great example. I mean, you're setting the standard, Robert. Well done. Congratulations. I'm not kidding.
We're trying to get things moving in. But the world of artificial intelligence is wild. The world of semiconductors is just exploding. I don't know if I told you, I am going to Oman next month.
I think you mentioned it. Yeah. Tell me more.
Super stoked about that. I'm really excited. So I've been invited there. The country of Oman is hosting the first semiconductor event of the Middle East. And they have asked me to come out to speak on the semiconductor industry economics and where things are going and what the possible future looks like for semiconductor industry. So really excited about going out there, talking to a lot of people. Obviously, we all know Oman's I'm going to be actually spending a little bit of time in Dubai. It's 2 hours from Dubai. By plane. So it's this region of the world is the money, right? This is where there's a lot of money and a lot of investment coming, where a lot of investment money is coming from. And I'm imagining a lot of people will that are going to be attending will not be so semiconductor industry savvy and knowing the engineering and the little things about the technology, but they understand where the industry is going and where the big investments are going in, and how that is going to change the world in the future.
It's unbelievable.
Pat Gelsinger just got back from World Economic Forum. That was incredible, and they said they're expecting a lot of big change and a lot of investment going into semiconductor. They're all investing heavily despite a downturn. So it tells me that there's a great future. And of course, you just do the math. You think about ChatGPT and the amount of data that they're collecting. Before ChatGPT gave birth, we were talking about doubling the amount of data on this earth in 5 years. I think that's way beyond. I think that's underestimated now that we're collecting this kind of this amount of data, and this amount of data is being used for things like that. But moving forward, I think that this is all run by chips. This is all semiconductors. Every bit of it. So we'll see how the world goes with that. But
it's super exciting. Yeah, no, it's well, that's awesome. So that'll be a good you'll be able to get some good data for us, in terms of where the investment's going. I would imagine a lot of it's going into artificial intelligence. And so, that's it's just one of those things that's just coming, and it's coming like a freight train. And I don't think that people fully understand where we're about to be in just a few years. Definitely during our lifetimes, probably still in my parents' lifetimes, and without a doubt with the kids' lifetimes. I mean, it's just it's just mind-boggling
Yeah.
where things are going, and so
Mhm.
it's a little bit scary too, because at the same time you're not going to really know if you're talking to a robot or a human. You're just
Yeah.
not going to know.
Yeah. And
So
they said, I was listening the other day, they said 8 years, it'll be 100% unrecognizable.
yeah, oh yeah, if
Yeah.
not sooner. Like, I mean, especially for some people that maybe older, or hard of hearing or things like that, they're not going to be able to pick up those nuances that you and I can pick up that
Yeah.
say, okay, yeah, it's artificial intelligence. But even me, like, I had somebody do a audio thing, and you really, I was really questioning whether or not it was a person or a robot, because it just sounded like a bot a little bit. And so
Right.
and that was like 6 months ago. And so it really is one of those things. If you're not sitting across the table from them, you're not going to know if you're talking to a human or an artificial human. So
Yeah.
I call it an organic human versus an artificial human. So
Yeah. Yeah. And then they're getting into this whole sentient thing, and whether or not it's sentient, and is that the right terminology?
Sentient.
Sentient. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, they they're getting into this thing of whether or not it's how these things will be making decisions, and how what do you call it at that point? Somebody brought up the fact the other day. They said, well, is it slavery?
Oh my God! There's gonna be artificial human rights groups. Yes.
Yes, there will be. He said, dude, think about it. Like, I mean, 30 years from now, where artificial intelligence is going, but he's like, you seriously got to consider, people will talk about this. They'll say, what is keeping a robot in your house slavery? Like, I mean, that's just crazy to think today.
Well,
right?
that's what's going to happen. There's
yeah.
all these people are going to have they're going to have artificial humans as assistants, both online and in person.
Yeah.
And it's going to become a real thing. You're going to be abusing your own assistant potentially, whether it's psychologically, verbally, or otherwise. But at the same time, too, I don't think that there's going to be a lot of people verbally abusing an assistant that's smarter than them.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I mean?
You have to.
There's
so much. Go ahead.
So that it could go both ways, right? Like, of course, you create this thing that's smarter than you, and it helps you, and it makes your life better, and everything else, blah blah blah. But on the other side of the token is, you're freaked out by this thing that is basically starting to control your life. In very real ways. And so maintaining that balance of understanding, at least from the perspective of the organic human, is going to be very important for artificial humans. And so it's but the thing is, we're going to know that that's part of who they are, and we're just gonna kind of have to understand as much as we possibly can, but know that there's parts of artificial intelligence that we just don't understand. So, just like other human beings, like Robert, you and I. Let's look at us. I mean, we're talking on the phone here, recording this, and are we real? Like,
right?
Are you real?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah,
imagine. Let's fast forward 8 years. You and I, we've been getting to know each other. We've met in person a few times, but right now, talking on this phone call, do you know that I'm a human or not?
Other than the fact that we met in person one time, like, I mean,
right,
or 2 times, right?
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Other than that handshake and a couple times that we've had, like, we hadn't met each other, and other than a phone call, then. Hey, who is this guy, Ron?
Yeah, exactly. Well, but and at the very least, for whoever's listening to this, whoever's watching this on YouTube, I'm asking you the question right now: how do you know for sure that Ron Huff, myself, what Robert calls me, the king of tech, how do you know that the king of tech is real? Okay, how do you know? Ask yourself that for real.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because that's how good artificial intelligence is getting. And fast forward a few years. What I'm saying right now, it's not going to be funny. See,
no, it's going to be very different. It's going to be there's a lot of ethical questions that you have to ask, and you have to. I mean, gosh, the other day I was reading about birthing pods. birthing pods.
Oh my
I mean,
God. We are definitely turning this place into the Matrix.
They're
No
talking
doubt about
they're
it.
talking about, and then this guy went out and YouTube. He's on YouTube and he was talking to women, and he said, "What do you think about birthing pods?" And these women were like, "Oh, that's weird. Like, yeah, I would never do that." And he goes, "No stretch marks." They go, "Ooh."
Oh my God.
And then he goes,
Yeah,
"No."
thinking about
Then
it.
he goes, "No postpartum depression." They go, "Ooh, I
Oh
like
my
that."
God.
And then
That
he
does
goes,
sound pretty
and
good.
then he goes,
If I was a woman.
he goes, "No weight gain." And they're like,
Oh my God.
"Oh,
I'm sold.
They're like, and all these women
Now-
are like, now tell
Yep.
me what is this thing? Like, how does it work?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
maybe I'm interested now. Like
I know.
it
Why are
was-
there chains on it? Why are there small chains on it? It doesn't matter. The
like-
benefits outweigh the cost.
Yeah,
You know.
it was wild to listen to these people and to see how they conform to this. Like, you know, at first they're like, "Oh no, that's weird," and then they're like, by the time the guys finish talking to them, they're like, "This sounds really
Yeah.
cool. I could go for that." But I mean,
I know.
we're already, and it was funny because I sent it to a friend of mine, and he goes,
Yeah.
"Yeah, but that's just future stuff. That's like not like," he goes, "That's not real." And I was like,
Sorry, guys.
guess what?
It's
They're
gonna be here
doing
soon.
it. They're doing it
Yeah.
right now with animals.
It's coming.
They're
It's
doing it right
coming.
now with animals. I'm sure
Yep.
there's countries that we shouldn't talk about that are doing it,
Yeah.
you know, under the table. But it's already being done with animals. And so
I
if
know.
you can do this with an animal, if you can from planting the seed to growing it in a laboratory and you know, doing everything for this with animals, why can't we do it with humans? And so
Yeah.
with the advent of technology and the speed that it's going to grow at, there's going to be a lot of questions to ask and a lot of ethical things people are going to be questioning, right?
Yeah.
You know, people will be asking, you know, is this a person? Is this a hybrid? You know, what happens when you change people's DNA? You're familiar with CRISPR
Mhm.
and what's going
Mhm.
on with CRISPR and all the research and development that's going on over there with genetic modification. You know, how are we going to look at this in the future? There's a lot of questions to ask. So yeah.
Well, it's eventually all of the different potential good outcomes and bad outcomes that can be done in software with AI currently. Once that makes the jump over to hardware, that is when we just need to be prepared for it from a society and humanity standpoint, you know, because everything that you just described, Robert, that's extremely, extremely scary.
Yeah.
And you know, but at the same time, you know, it's something that we really are creating in our understanding of where we are. We're creating the potential that we really are in a matrix type of situation. I mean, think about it. You know, the Bible, it provided guidance for thousands of years as a book.
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't a movie potentially be some kind of a prophecy in actual humanity in real life, even though it was originated for the purposes of entertainment? It's still an interesting concept.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so all of those things, they're actually starting to happen, which is a very, very weird kind of feeling and place to be in right now. So,
Yeah. There's going to be great things that come out of artificial intelligence and technology, and there's going to be very scary things that come out of artificial intelligence and technology. That will just be absolutely horrible for society and horrible for everything. You go into the world of sexual deviation and stuff like that, and it's just the world is there's just a horrible, like, there's a lot of horrible things you can see there coming from that, and where it could go, but there's a lot of, you know, like we talked about last time in our last show, you know, hey, this will be saving people's lives because cars will be driving by themselves, right? And the cars are going to make have less accidents than people. So is it going to be good? Is it going to be bad? Yeah, it's going to be both.
Well, let me tell you something that's interesting. What are your thoughts on this? So I noticed that every single time you post, it doesn't matter what it is. Anything, and anytime you ever post anything, it always gets at least 15 or 20 likes, right?
Yeah.
At least, usually with comments and everything else. However, your post about the artificial intelligence example that you've created, it only got like 2 likes. And so that's not an indication of lack of interest. That's an indication of algorithms.
Yeah.
And so why are LinkedIn's algorithms silencing things like what you presented to LinkedIn?
Yeah,
recently?
I saw that. Why?
And
I was like, wait a second, this is weird. And I was like, okay, it's not showing this to people. Now I do know that LinkedIn doesn't like videos, and it does limit video sharing extensively, a lot. And so that was one of the reasons why. But I mean, for the amount of views that it got, I think it was like 300, 600 views on the whole thing. My average is about 3,500. I just recently had one that was 25. I just had one that was 20,000, and I averaged about 3,500 per post.
I know, dude.
And,
why are they blocking that, man?
They blocked it.
Why are they blocking it?
They did.
They
did. But
is that humans blocking it, or is that artificial intelligence systems?
Oh, that's definitely
it?
algorithms. It's definitely algorithms blocking it. So,
wow.
But who knows? Who knows why it did it? But I think it's hilarious that you saw that as well as I did. So
yeah. Well, other people I'm sure have, and
yeah.
so I guess if you see this, well, I think actually most of the people that listen to this, it's actually through the podcast. Not a lot of people watch it on YouTube. So I guess there's no way. I don't know how you would comment on a podcast or something. Maybe we need to start a chat in the kind of turn the website into a chat area as well. You know. But anyways, nonetheless, we need to kind of start talking to people about this to make sure that they understand what's really going on in our world. You know, it's weird.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It is. It's so weird.
I mean, everything's gonna be fine. Like nobody needs to freak out or anything. But it's just there are people out there that are gonna need to understand how this works so that it just makes sense in a way to. We don't actually start World War III amongst humans. World War III is going to be against humans and machines, unfortunately.
Yeah.
That war has already started with the artificial intelligence that's in software. That war has started. And as you and I just discussed, Robert, there's something going on there. And those are subtle indications that there's a war that's going on. And we as organic humans, we don't even know what's going on.
Yeah, it's
starting, and we hardly know it.
Yeah, these geopolitical tensions that we're feeling right now especially between the United States and China, are 100% driven by technology. They're very, very technology driven, and China has said that it will, and the United States wants to be who was it? Putin said the leader of technology will be the leader of the world in the future, and there is a huge drive right now to be the leader of technology of the world. I was talking to Navid, the CEO of Rapid Silicon. He said he was in China recently. He was walking down a street that was kind of like the Wall Street of China somewhere, and he says every 5th company that he walked by was an AI company. He said it was incredible to watch. He said he couldn't believe it, and he says they are investing heavily, and where we're feeling a lot of these geopolitical tensions in the world, people don't realize that it's all because of technology, the chips, and the artificial intelligence that's coming in the future.
I've said it for months. New York Times finally said it. The semiconductor industry is the new oil and gas industry, and it very much is. You have supply issues. You've got a commodity that's unbelievably valuable, and you're absolutely right. But this is different than oil and gas, though. I think it's the next level, almost the higher dimension of an issue, because the simple fact of the matter is there's not going to be one country that owns artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is going to be separate from all of humanity very soon. And so, if not already, I mean, those things are already starting to be realized and recognized in the experience that we're having with technology even today. And so as long as we as humans understand the complexities of it, but also fully understanding that we're really not going to understand it. But that the balance is going to be, hey, we're going to be on vacation 24/7. We're going to be able to travel to the moon. We're going to be able to travel to Mars. Every single human being is going to be, have a minimal standard of living that's unbelievably awesome.
Yeah.
If you want to work, you can. If you don't want to work, you don't have to.
Yeah.
And so we just have to make sure that we focus on how great and our quality of life as a human is going to be, even as compared to how it is now.
Yeah.
And so.
Yeah, and a few other things. You throw in a few other mixes into this. We're talking about artificial intelligence in the future and what the future holds. You throw in a few other mixes like what do we call it? We're calling it chat. Gosh, I'm drawing a blank. Income for it's income for everybody. Basically.
Oh yeah, universal basic income.
Yes, universal basic income.
Mm-hmm.
You got it, and that's that's going to be a big game changer.
That's coming soon too.
Digital income, digital currency. Digital currency.
Yeah.
What makes a digital currency? What makes a currency? It's anything that your government will allow is to be paid as a tax, right? So if your government allows you to pay taxes in that, and so for instance, some type of digital currency, then guess what? It's a currency. If your government accepts it as a payment. And so these are all coming. They're already being done in other parts of the world, and people don't realize how fast they're coming, and how fast they're going to be changing our world in the very near future.
That's exactly correct. And expanding on the universal basic income concepts, in a way that's already starting, with full-time salary jobs. I mean, working from home, you're only working a few hours a week. Yeah. In a way, that's a basic income. And so that whole concept of universal basic income, it's already there. It's been around ever since there was money in the first place. However, in an indirect way, universal basic income isn't the just free-for-all give money away. I mean, it is, but at the same time, the people that are working will have optimized their jobs so much that they don't actually have to work, but yet they're getting an income, which, guess what? That's a universal basic income. Yeah. And so that there is a point where those two things meet, and that point is coming really soon for all of humanity. It is. And so that's what's cool about it. I mean, there's hope, I mean, I definitely think it's going to happen during my lifetime for sure, even possibly sooner, and so everyone's going to have their own, artificial human personal assistant that does their job for them, does their cooking for them, cleaning for them, all of those basic needs are going to be met, and that's going to be the product of all products. That's the final product that humans will ever create on their own is a robot that can do every single thing that they do in order to sustain life. And so,
and even if that robot is your phone, right? I mean, it potentially.
That's started already. That's what I'm talking about.
Very
it's
early
already
in
started.
The days where that robot could just be your phone, and you're talking to your phone, and you're saying, "Hey, we need some ketchup," and and then it's going in and it's ordering ketchup for you, and then you're getting delivery tomorrow from your local grocery store.
We're almost there
for ketchup, but it's whenever we start seeing a lot of these technologies starting to work together and talking together, the different technologies talking to each other. That's when we really see, because I told my phone we're out of ketchup and I need to buy ketchup.
I'll take it even a step further. When there's a personal assistant robot around, you're not even going to know that you were low on ketchup. It's just always going to be there waiting for you.
Yeah, because your refrigerator will see that it's half, it's 3/4 empty, and or it's almost empty. Yep.
A smart refrigerator knows exactly what's inside it at all times. Yeah. And so, but that's what I mean. You don't even need a smart refrigerator, right? All you need is the artificial human personal assistant that can just look in the refrigerator and just know all that based on a discussion that you had with it, saying, "Hey, just check the fridge once a week and make sure we got everything." I mean, and then you can just tell you, and then you'll be able to tell your artificial human personal assistant. You'll be able to say, "Hey, we're going to have a dinner party the other night. Like 30% of the people are probably going to want beer. The other 60% or so, 70% are going to want wine or whatever." Yeah. So you can start just simply telling your personal assistant all of the things that you just don't want to do.
Yeah,
It'll do
exactly.
it for you.
Exactly. I actually I was flying home from Semicon West. I was flying home from San Francisco, and I was sitting next to a lady that was a personal assistant for a billionaire. And she said that she goes to his house every day, and she's working within his house, and she's doing the ordering tickets, and she's managing the housekeepers, and managing this and managing that for his his daily life, making sure that his shirts are ironed and everything, and that everybody's doing their jobs, and that making his life easier. That will be, artificial intelligence will be that lady's job for a lot of it, right? There will be so much of it that will be easily done through artificial intelligence.
I know, and it's already starting. I mean, there's still human interaction when you order something from Amazon, right?
Yeah.
They have to bring it to you. But like, just imagine the whole concept of just even when we get Neuralink and everything else, all you got to do is just wish for it, and then it'll show up at your front door. Yeah. All you got to do is all you do is just think of it, right?
Yeah.
But then again, you'll have that, but then you'll also be connected directly to your artificial human personal assistant that will instantly know, oh, okay, I need to check the refrigerator once a week. That's it.
Right.
So instead of talking to your own inner self to remind yourself to do things, all you're going to be doing is talking to your artificial human personal assistant that will then do all of those things that, again, you just don't want to do.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
I know it's an amazing world where we're going.
I was listening to an interesting gentleman talk the other day. He was a gentleman from Dubai, and he said if the computer thinks like me, sounds like me. Now, if I'm able to create an avatar within the computer that thinks like me, acts like me, and generates thoughts just like I do, does that make me immortal? He's like thinking, and he was going on to say, like, you could take that immortality and essentially launch that into space, and to 1,000 light years away, that your immortality could essentially be working, going to another galaxy or something like that at another place. I thought that was just an interesting concept, and the weird with the way technology is moving, the weird thoughts and concepts that you have to analyze today. It's very different, right? And it's interesting to hear people's perception of that.
Well, I tell you what, Robert, I mean, you're absolutely right. And you hit the nail right on the head when you said immortality. And that's a perfect lead in to what I think might be a good topic for our next discussion, which is what I call the ultimate project. And what the ultimate project is it's a higher level of understanding about the difference between the third dimension, the fourth dimension, and the fifth dimension. And so that's basically what it is, and we'll have to talk about it offline, but we'll have to see. I'd love to sit here and talk to you about that as well, because there's a lot of great concepts that you would totally find interesting and then also be able to build upon. So anyways, well, look, everyone listening in, thank you so much. We're going to cut it short here. We appreciate I think we've gotten like 30 downloads or something from all the different podcasts, which I think is awesome. A podcast download is a true and genuine thing. And so that's really cool. We hope that you like what we have to say, and somehow we'll have to figure out a way to get you to join in the discussion. So everyone, again, thank you for your time, and we'll see you on the next one.
Have a good one. Bye.